No, 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 that's wrong. Dixie Diamonds 209. Air Force Base Amberley, 3:14 a.m. Lieutenant Nancy Walton walked through the sliding glass doors of Amberley Air Force Base's brig and raised an eyebrow at the sight of Clive Voss and Willie Alley sitting unattended behind the desk using the computer. "Please tell me that you haven't drugged or injured our desk sergeant and hacked our computer," she said as she made her way to the two ASIO agents. Looking up and seeing Walton, Alley smiled and said, "No to both. Sergeant Sharma asked us to fill out Brentsy's intake form while he delivers the prisoner to his cell. I don't know about Vorsey here, but I'm too tired to hack anything at the moment." "Good," Walton said with a nod as she joined the ASIO pair on the business side of the desk. "Well, I'm sure we could find you a cell here in the jail. I just went through the trouble of finding you a room with bedded beds to crash in for what's left of the night. When you're ready, I'll take you there." "Wonderful," Allie said, nodding minutely. "I can say absolutely that if you know a place where there ain't nobody crying, ain't nobody worried, you'll see my smiling face," he said with a wink, his reference to the Staple Singers' hit song, "I'll Take You There," falling completely flat with Walton. "All right, then," Walton, brow furrowed, replied as Sergeant Creechy Sharma entered. Sharma walked to his desk, saluted Lieutenant Walton, walked between Voss and Alley, pulled out his chair, and sat before looking at the form on his computer. Perusing the form, he nodded and said, "He's in separate confinement under a suicide watch," as he filled in some additional sections of his intake form. "Let me finish this, and you may have a paper copy." Looking up, he asked, "One or two copies?" "One should suffice," Voss replied. Sharma nodded again, typed a bit more, reread his form, then hit print. Pulling the intake form from his computer, he held it up, furrowed his brow, and moved it minutely left and right, an invitation for whichever ASIO agent wished to claim it. Voss, taking the form, said, "Thank you, Sergeant," then looked to Walton for direction. "You have what you need?" Walton asked. Alley and Voss nodded as Voss said, "All set. You don't have a wheelbarrow out there by any chance? We could let poor Willie take a siesta on our way to wherever it is we're going." "No," Walton said, shaking her head minutely, "but it's not far, Sergeant," she added, tilting her head down and looking at Sharma from the top of her eyes, her gesture producing her desired result of Sergeant Sharma standing and saluting. "Good work," she said, returning his salute as she led the way through the sliding doors and then down the 3 entryway steps. "It's about half a click, so not too far, but if you're done in, I could get a jeep." "Thank you, Lieutenant," Alley said with a weary nod. "I am tired, but I can handle half a kilometer," as the 3 headed for the agent's overnight accommodations.